Besties. It's Sika
and Sharice, and we are in the pod today.
We have Parris from Beautiful Beauty Bar.
Yes.
Hey, Parris.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, definitely. We are happy you are here with us.
That's
Although
right.
you fought that traffic.
Traffic, Chicago traffic.
Yeah, and you also just got off a flight, right?
Yes, I landed like midnight last night from Houston, and then had a couple hours to get home because I live way yonder, and had to get up this morning and take clients.
Oh, wow. So you in here, you on your last leg.
On the last one.
Right.
I think I'm on the toe.
Right. Still came to the pod to talk to our besties. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Parris, we're just going to ask you some little fun questions first, and then we want our guests to get to know you.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Sika start off with the little fun questions we have.
Okay, what's your favorite movie?
Yeah, Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Okay.
I like that.
Hip hop, rap, R&B, or trap, or oldies.
R&B, but the 90s R&B.
Yes. We agree.
Yeah.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
All day, right?
Yeah.
And what would you want your legacy to be?
Oh man, that's deep.
Yeah. It is. Make it think.
I would want my legacy to be just a person that was ambitious, driven, all about her kids, her money, her man,
Okay.
and her business.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's so important. Our legacy, that's what it's all about. I
That's
think
what
that's
it's all
as you
about.
get older, you start realizing that.
Right, your legacy.
And just
That's
making
right.
sure I'm, leaving something for my children, which is one of the reasons why I left my job, to have something to pass on down to them.
That's right.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. You can't pass your job.
No.
Can't pass it down.
No.
That's right.
They can't clock in for
You
you.
not clock in. So, Parris, we want you to tell our besties a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What you do? How many kids you got?
They gonna be like, what? Okay, so my name is Parris, with 2 R's. I am a licensed esthetician for the state of Illinois and Indiana. I am the owner and founder of Beautiful Beauty Bar, and Beautiful Bath and Body, which is a skincare product line.
Yes.
I am married with 5 children.
Yes. Beautiful. Wow.
Yes.
I like it.
5 children where?
Okay.
I have 4 girls and 1 boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
4 girls.
So aging from ages 7 to 13.
Okay. Is the boy, is he the youngest?
He's the youngest. He's my
always
baby.
like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
always.
So you gotta spoil him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the spoiled one.
Yeah, his big sister's looking after him. Yes. So it's so funny when Parris said with 2 R's, because I'm gonna tell you all a funny story. On Instagram, a while back, I had reached out to Parris, and I was like, "Okay, Parris," and I spelled it like Paris, 1 R. She was like, "It's Paris." With 2 R's, I was cracking up. I was like, "That's right, correct me." I love it.
Seriously.
It is automatically a habit because
Yes.
that's what we're used to, and then the phone
Yeah.
auto corrects it. Well, my phone now gets it correct. It spells it out for me, but it's just like, I used to just let it go, but it was like,
Right.
don't forget the R. So that became my thing now.
That's
So
right.
when everybody see me, especially if that's their first time meeting me,
Mhm.
they be like, "That's Parris with 2 R's."
Right.
Don't forget the R.
That's right.
Nobody gonna forget the R.
Don't forget the R, because your name says a lot about you. So
Yes.
correct everybody. So that was just so funny, but I appreciate that, because when I was younger, and my mom was like, "Your name is not Sharice." I'm like, "You spell it like Sharice." She's like, "It's Sherry's." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
I don't like it. Look.
Right. It's all the same.
Girl, I think we all went through that when I was younger. My dad would be
Yeah.
like, he's from Ghana.
Uh-huh.
He'd be like, "Your name is not Sika, it's Sika." I said, "Daddy, everybody ain't got no accent.
Exactly.
They can all put that "ka" on there." You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but you go ahead. I haven't corrected anybody yet because I ain't got an
Exactly.
accent.
Yeah. That's all. That's it. All right, so Parris, we're gonna jump into some questions.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So we met this beautiful lady about a year ago, right?
Yes.
Yes, through an organization we all were a part of, and she just has a very great spirit, and she is a for real, like boss.
Yeah,
Like, she is a boss. She's about her business. getting her money, and she takes care of her family.
Yes.
Okay. So, Sika, you want to start with questions, or you want me to go ahead and hit
Girl, I get started.
All right.
I get started because we were just talking about that flight you got off of.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I know you were in Houston, right?
Yes.
Okay, you were providing services?
Yes, ma'am. I teamed up with Monica, who's the owner of Waxaholics in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And she does nothing but wax. Very love her spirit, love her. So we teamed up. I slid in her DM, and I was like, hey, because we were all kind of part of this small world. Like, we were all in this group from different states or whatever. And you know, some people kind of just stick out to you. And she was somebody that we would communicate, and she'd be like, hey, how you do this? And I'd be like, hey, how you do that as far as marketing?
Yeah.
So something was just set on my spirit and was like, it'd be pretty dope if, you know, we could collab. And she does nothing but waxing, but I know I do a little bit of everything, so I'm able to, you know, set something to the side and to kind of bring it together. And I slid in her DM. She's like, yeah, that'd be dope. Let's do it. So that was like maybe like September.
Okay.
So we knew that with the, you know, the holidays coming up, it was kind of going to be kind of hard. So I was like, well, let's push for January. So we got the flyer made, and then, you know, I will promote it, but she will promote it more heavily because she's in that area.
Yeah.
So we were able to get it, you know, lined up and called it a Pamper Beam weekend, where we combined her waxing and my facials or dermaplane and made a package deal.
Awesome. So did you guys had a good turnout?
Yeah, we had a great turnout. And then I had to, it's so crazy because I had to actually last minute push one of the days back to Monday and cancel out my Friday due to my sister passing. So I buried my sister on Friday and then flew out the first thing Saturday morning, but we were still able to redeem and show out.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are sorry about your
Yes,
loss.
it's okay.
Sorry. You're a busy woman. You gotta take some time for yourself.
I am. You know, they say death come in threes. So I end up, I just got the call today from my mom. I think at this point I'm gonna stop answering the phone for my mom because she's the one that's been calling with these deaths. So first I lost my uncle, then it was my sister, and then she called me today while I was at work to tell me my cousin had passed. So I was like, okay, but like my sister was probably the hardest one that I had to kind of take last week. So I'm gonna take some time for myself, but kind of right now, kind of staying busy kind of helps me cope with everything.
Yeah. And when it's time, you want to slow down and be able to go ahead and just breathe. January. I'm gonna say Happy New Year again on February 1st. That's right. I'm gonna have a party. I'm gonna throw the New Year's party.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, let's do
January still got some 2019 stuff going on.
It got some 2019 behavior, right? I'm telling you.
Where you going? 2019.
I know.
I don't like it.
Yeah, but the prayer would be that it gets better.
Yes.
Throughout this year. And they said this is the year of 2020 vision.
That's right.
So hopefully and prayerfully you have your angels with you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they are already here.
Yes. So I wanted to go a little bit further than that. So did you find that it was hard to like broaden your horizons and build your brand outside of Illinois? Because you're in Houston now. Now you're building your brand in Houston. Did you find that to be difficult, or is this something that you've always wanted to do, to go different states in?
I wanted to, I've always had it in my vision to just be able to, you know, travel and do what I love everywhere. I want my products everywhere. It's going to be, you know, at one point where I'm not able to use my hands. But my products, I can, you know, have that manufactured and keep that in the family. So I want it to be everywhere. So now I'm able to put my products in another state where now they have a set location, storefront to come to, you know, continue to buy. So it's my goal to, me and Monica have actually talked about going to, I think, South Carolina next, to kind of see what we can do in that market. So yeah, I think that's I'm here for my people, my local people, but I want to be able to spread this black girl magic everywhere.
Come on,
That's
right. Spread it out.
Do it, okay?
And that's collaboration. You see how
Exactly.
and people need to realize collaboration will move mountains.
Yes, it will.
Because it's two of y'all covering two covering
different
ground.
states too, yeah.
You know, Houston, Chicago. Now
Yes.
y'all going to South Carolina.
We wanna go to, I'll be back in Houston actually the 17th of April.
Okay.
So, and then we're gonna kind of do a photo shoot, but we were just thinking like, we're just trying to think future wise, like let's try to do, other states. I wanna try to bring her here, like, hey,
Yeah.
let her wax y'all.
That is dope.
Yeah,
That's
so.
amazing.
Yes,
See,
yes,
see, guys, women, we work together.
Yes.
That's good, yes. So, Paris, what made you want to become an esthetician?
So, just a little background. Prior to becoming an esthetician, I was a manager for a wireless company. I've been in wireless since I was 19 years old.
Wow.
So, I've always had a love for skincare, however, and with me having real bad eczema, my youngest daughter having real bad eczema, I kind of dipped into doing my research.
Okay.
So it was either go back to school to keep working for somebody else or go back to school and do what I love. So I prayed about it. I talked to my husband. He said, go for it. So what I ended up doing was launching the skincare line. I was like, let me just put this out here to, kind of see. And I was dropping little gems. So I dropped the bath bombs first. And I just thought at that point, I said, I made it. Because I didn't expect the feedback to come. So I was getting orders like crazy. So I was like, okay. So then I was telling everybody, like, I'm going to drop this. And I was kind of taking my time. So then I had started school and I just slowly but surely kind of just did everything. And when I originally went to school, I didn't plan on finding a love for facials. I planned on just doing strictly waxing.
Okay.
And then it was like, oh man, I found another love.
Yeah.
But if you tell me to do some lashes, the answer is no. If you tell me to do some makeup, the answer is no.
Yeah.
But everything else I wanted the whole beauty bar thing to still be a one-stop shop. So I'm still, small now. But my plan is, to build and get your footsteps. Because I really truly do want at one point like a full-blown like kind of med spa thing. That was a whole like kind of purpose. But I know my lane and I know I have to take baby steps to get there. So nothing is rushing God's time.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
it will happen in his time. Oh, yeah, girl.
That's awesome. You were
Yes.
talking about waxing, right?
Yes.
So when I like watch your videos on Instagram and I'm like, oh my goodness, I know that hurt is so bad, but it looks so good. Like, what? Okay.
Amazing.
So what could you say about waxing to convince a girl like me that's like my pain threshold is so low, it ain't even funny.
So it's all about the person that's waxing you. How comfortable they make you feel. If I wax you, I'm gonna talk to you the whole time. You're not gonna know it's coming. And just about how the wax they use, and the pressure they apply, you gonna look up and you're like, that's it. Like everybody I've come this first time, they be like, oh my God, this is the most comfortable. Even if they've been getting waxed, they be like, oh my God, this is the most comfortable I've ever been getting waxed. And that's how really I've been building my clientele, and word of mouth just took off.
Wow.
So that's really been my praise right there.
That's
So
awesome.
one experienced person, Sika or Cherie, you heard that? Or Cherie get waxed, and then you tell the world, and now everybody coming to them. So
That's right. Do you do the chocolate wax too?
no,
No.
I don't. Just preferences, I don't, because I don't want to knock nothing nobody does, but just preferences and experience is the no for me and my clientele. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what is your training or experience that you had in this? Like what school and things that you go to?
So I went to Naperville Skin Institute.
Okay.
I have did certifications in dermaplan. I did 2 microblading. I did 2 micro shading just because I wanted to really invest and know what I'm doing, because I'm, playing in people's skin. So people like, oh, you're crazy for spending that money. It's no such thing as over investing. I may be broke now, but it's okay. But it's all worth it. But I really had no experience. And then prior to me going to school, I've been getting waxed for 11 years.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I know the experience. I know how I want to be waxed. I know how I want it to feel like. Went off that.
So going off your own experience, you're able to cater your services to your clients.
Yes.
That's right.
I do believe some people don't get waxed and they be doing it real slow.
Yeah.
So they don't.
I know a couple of people, and I do personally think, well, not necessarily, because I do know a good waxer and she's never been waxed, but she's, bomb at what she does. But I think to be able to relate to that client, you should be able to, say how it feels or whatever the case may be. Because if you get on my table, I'm going to tell you like, hey, the labia is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's going to be over within a blink of an eye.
Okay.
And by the time I get all that out, it's already snatched.
So you went to school and become an esthetician. You had already launched your brand as far as your skin and your body bombs or your bath bombs.
Bath bombs, scrubs, body butters, and organic soy candles.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So besides that, we know you do have your brand, Beautiful Beauty Bar. Okay. What made you take the leap after finishing your esthetician school? I know you didn't want to hand your, you can't hand your job down to your kid kind of thing. But what gave you that courage? Because I feel like we say those things, but there's something behind us that. And what did you go through? How did you transition from being an employee to your own boss, and the emotions you went through doing that?
I've honestly went through a lot of emotions, a lot of doubt, self-doubt, and sometimes negativity and people around you that'll be like, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. But then you have those people that are rah-rahing you on. My husband was very supportive. So before I went to fully go, I took leave from work. I can say this now because I ain't working for them.
She said that.
But I took a leave from work, and I said, okay, let me try it out. Let me get paid still for my job, and let me see if I can do this. And I put it out there to say, hey, I'm open full time. You all, my schedule is open, come to me or whatever. So I was like, okay, let me try this out. So I did that for about 3 months.
Okay.
And it worked out. So now at this point, within this 3 months, now mind you, I'm at a salary job and I make great money because I'm a manager for a company, but I'm making way more money and I'm following my passion versus, working for somebody else on their time. So it was time for me to go back to work. And I'm like, okay, I'm praying about it. I'm like, what am I gonna do? This was really one of the toughest decisions to ever make because, I can't put everything on my husband and we got 5 kids to feed. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a leap of faith. Now, mind you, my husband said he wasn't ready for me to quit. Now he was ready for me to quit July of 2020.
Oh, okay.
But I did this the summer of 2019. So I was like, I'm gonna prove him wrong. So I did it, but so the day I was supposed to go back to work, I had put my schedule to where I could only take a few clients before work. I took them clients, I had on my work clothes. Finished waxing my client I had. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm not doing it now.
Wow. So you split decision.
Yeah, that's split decision. I was just like, and I kept praying on it. I was like, I can't. I had my work clothes on and I couldn't do it. So I was just like, God lead the way. I had been saving. I had the money to, still cover. So everything was okay. And then I had spoke with, her name is Ashley. She's the owner of Glitz Fits. And she was like, she kind of took a liking to me, and we kind of became close. And she was like, come over here too and work with me, part-time, as well. So I was able to, I think I started doing that with her like second week in November. Or whatever. So I give her like 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. So I was doing that. So I was just pretty much covered. So between even those times, because I stopped getting paid for my other job in like the last week in July. So August is when it was like really, really real. Where it was strictly like push. If you don't work, you don't eat. So I was just like, is real. So it was just hitting me. Even now times, because I'm still fresh. I'm not even a year in,
Right.
So it's just really trying to just stay focused. It'll be self-doubt. And like even just talking to my husband, me and my husband had a heart-to-heart today, because I'm like, the devil is really busy right now. The devil is really busy, and he was like, well, babe, you gotta look at it like this past year has been great for you. So when my sister died, and I, God forgive me, I've said some of the most ridiculous things in which we all, can kind of, you'll question him. So it was just like so much happening. My friends had been in a car accident, so right now they're not walking. This happened, New Year's Eve. So I was just like, why is all this happening? Why is all this happening? I'm being attacked by people I thought were my friends on social media. And I was just like, I'm confused. So he was like, God is testing you to tell you it could be worse, but it's how you react and how you have faith in him to keep going and keep pushing.
That's right.
To, just keep everything together. So, that's why I'm pretty much like just trying to keep it together.
Keep it together.
Keep it together.
And that's the truth what your husband is saying, because you had an amazing 2019, and like they said, if 2020 is 2020 vision, and the enemy will do anything to stop us and to make us doubt ourselves, and don't want you to do what you're doing, because this is your calling, this is your passion. And a lot of people in my background, I hear it all the time, like a lot of people say, oh, well, this is my calling, this is my passion, but why all this stuff happening to me? Well, that's because somebody else is coming to you that the devil, he already know about. He know they're coming before you know they're coming, that he don't want you to get to, because your spirit or your testimony, whatever you touch in their face can just change their life. So that's what we have to always remember, in the back of our heads. Like, we don't know when it's gonna happen, but that's the reason why you're in this, and things are going to happen. It's gonna get hard, but stay on the race, girl, because you're doing your thing.
I'm trying to.
Yes, you are. You definitely are. And I think that's important for aspiring business owners or current business owners to hear. It ain't all peaches and cream. You guys,
not at all.
There are hard times. You doubt yourself. You are not an expert on anything.
That's right.
When you go into something new, so just sticking to it.
Always stay a student in your craft. Always, never think that you know everything. Like, I'm always a sponge to, everything. Even Sika, when I reached out to you, I'm like, I'm just sitting there waiting on your reply. I see it say typing. Like, I want to receive everything. I don't care if it's 20 years from now. I will always remain a student in whatever I'm doing.
That's what it's
So
all
important.
about.
So important. Stay prayed up and keep being a student.
Keep being a student, right? Okay. You learn something new every day. You never stop learning. Yes. So with your facials and things that you do, how do you determine what facial and procedures are best for your clients?
So I always do a skin analysis.
Okay.
So I can't tell you, what's going on or what I can recommend without really seeing your skin. You sitting up under that light, me taking a deep look, touching, moving, just analyzing your skin. So I'm able to really see what's going on top of me asking you questions, you filling out your questionnaire, me looking at that. Then we can go from there to determine, what you use, what you don't use, what you need to use, what you better be using.
Right.
Those type of things. So, I pretty much, go off there. So that's why I always tell people, like, well, I need to really see you. I need to really touch you. I need to really, because that's how I'm learned in school. So I want to keep that same driven purpose. So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because I have eczema too, and I'm like, what's going on? Help me out. Yeah, so that's good that you do that with your clients because it makes them feel comfortable, you know, and then they're like, oh, she really know what she's doing, you know, so that keeps them wanting to come back.
And then like a lot of people, they'll come in and just want, you know, because some people, and I'm gonna just be honest, right now this esthetician thing is a wave. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are joining just to, you know, make money or jump on this bandwagon, or a lot of people come in like, oh, I want a derm plan. Why do you want one? Because you're seeing it, but you may not be a candidate for that. So unfortunately, I can't get it. I don't want your money. You know, I want you to be a returning client, and I want to make sure I'm giving you the best advice for what you need. Yep.
That's so dope because you go being inside the beauty industry. Even myself personally, I've seen where people come in, they're adamant that they need this. Yeah. And you're like, absolutely not. You know, it's my clinical judgment. Right. And I know what you want, but let me educate you on what you need. And then once you give them that perspective, they're like, oh, okay. And there's been times I done downgraded. Somebody came in asking for a $600 treatment, and they leave out of there with a $70 treatment because it's not about the money. It's about what you need as a person. Like, I'm not supposed to be making money off you. I'm supposed to help make your life better. You're supposed to walk out of there feeling good about yourself, and it's supposed to lead to better skin later on.
Absolutely.
And as you keep going and keep using things. So yeah, I get that. If you, like you said, it's a wave.
Right.
They know about
It's a wave.
Right.
It's a wave. And then the way people are, you know, just promoting it and everything, it's just like, okay. Okay. That's all I'm just saying. I'm just saying, okay.
But I do like to see, and I don't know if it's just me, and like you said, it's a wave, right? I've seen so many black women getting into skin care, like really caring about their skin, because we got that thing, black don't crack. Yeah. So we think we can throw some water and Vaseline on it, keep moving.
Keep moving. Yeah. We need a little bit more. We need sunscreen. We need all those things.
Yes.
We need all those things to keep our melanin popping.
Exactly.
So, to keep us youthful, and you know the anti-aging process. We still need that. So.
Yes. I don't think growing up, I didn't see no sunscreen in the house unless we was going somewhere like a beach. You know what I mean?
Something, right?
Not every day, right? And you putting the sunscreen on, and that's so important to make sure you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, and I can honestly say, like, I was very ignorant to the fact of, you know, sunscreen and how important it was. It took me, you know, going to school to know, like, oh, we need it too, and we need to reapply it every 2 to 3 hours if we're outside in the sun. Right. So anywhere from a Fitzpatrick 1 to a Fitzpatrick 6, we all need sunscreen.
Sunscreen. And I know about the sunscreen. People would think about that cast, the blue cast you get on. You get your skin from the zinc oxide.
Oh yeah.
There are, and this is for my besties. Okay, let me look you up.
Listen, besties.
There are some lines that do not have the zinc oxide in it, that you do not have to worry about walking around looking kind of bluish, grayish, that color everyone knows about. So check it out. It is a girl, black girl sunscreen. She's out of California, I believe, out of LA, and she has a sunscreen just for black girls. It's called Black Girl Sunscreen. So check her out if you're looking for something that's not going to give you the right cast. And if you can give us an idea, do you have any suggestions?
So normally I kind of stick with the professional line I use, which is Skin Script.
Okay.
So I kind of use all of their products for as like recommendation. I don't recommend anything out of the store. I am such a professional line skincare because I know what's in it. I've taken their classes, and there's other companies I want to kind of look into, but they are who I started off with in school. So I was like, oh man, and I was doing all my tests, so I was just like, yeah, I'm in love with them because they are really giving me great turnarounds with my clients.
Yeah. Skin Script, they're the bomb. They are the bomb. A lot of stuff they got. NPCA, that's another one of that.
So the only thing, and you could tell me because you doing this too, I be kind of on the fence, and the reason why I have sticking with Skin Script because I hate for things to be sold on Amazon
Mhm.
and, people to kind of compete with my retail prices versus Amazon. And I tell them all the risks that they can possibly take because they can get something that's not real.
Exactly.
But I just don't I don't like that some of these professional skincare lines are being sold on Amazon.
I totally agree, but as with my experience, I do know that people come in and they'll come in and they won't ask for a service necessarily, and they're using PCA, but they want it from a PCA provider, someone that's authorized dealer of the product. So you still have that, but I know what you mean about you can find PCA all over Amazon. And the thing about that is, like you said, some of those products aren't what they say they are. These are expensive products. PCA is a high-end skincare professional or prescription like brand skincare. So you finding that online don't mean you getting what you're supposed to get.
Right.
Yeah. And then I've also heard about I'm really thinking I just want to kind of test it out. Maybe I can be one of my testers. But Glymed, I've heard great reviews about them. Now, even though my clientele right now is very diverse, I kind of stick to my brown skin. So I'm very particular on how products works on our skin, versus just anybody else, because we have the most sensitive skin.
Yes.
Like we have to be careful what we put on our face.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah, be careful. So Sika took my question, but that's okay. So Parris, you do a lot, right? And again, you are a boss and you're traveling. So how do you balance it all? Being a wife, a mother, and a business owner?
Oh, God.
Yes.
God. Like, it be days where I'm dog tired, trying to balance everything out, and I'm open and honest and woman enough to admit that sometimes I fall short of some things. So sometimes I may fall, especially trying to get the business up, like I wasn't, cooking as much. I wasn't tending to the needs of my children as much because I was so tired. I'm not saying I'm not a great mom, but I was falling short of some things, and my husband kind of stepped up and picked those things up. But it's a challenge, and it's hard, and then I was in school, so I was really trying to balance and juggle all of those things. So it's just more so about praying, finding structure, getting a planner, kind of writing these things down so you can be like, boom, this is what I need to do. Boom, this is what I need to do. So it got to a point where my husband was like, don't you know those kind of like magnetic things you put on the door and kind of like the chalkboard?
Yes.
So he was like, we need to buy one of those, put it on the back of the door, and need to write everything we need to do and just start scratching it off, because there was some stuff that me and him needed to do together. So I forget, and he'll put it on me, and it's like, well, I forget, babe. So it was like, okay, you have to take responsibility too. So yeah, but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, but you're doing it. You are doing it. Some people out here can barely do it, and look at you. You traveling, and good thing you have the support of your husband.
Yes.
Because most people don't have that support. So you have that support when he's there to help you.
And my mom.
And your
my
mom.
mom.
That's mine too. My mom. Yes. Yes. So that's good. That's important. And then the fact that you said God, with prayer, and you balancing all out, and you're not done yet.
I'm not.
This is
I'm
like
just
only
getting
the
started.
beginning.
I'm just getting started.
She already talking about traveling different states to get, like really expand her horizons. So with a team player like your husband, your kids on board,
I gotta put them to work too, though.
Yes.
So
you should.
I'm trying to put them to work too.
You got a secretary, you got a general, you got
all of that.
All
of that.
Right. You already got your staff.
Yes.
About what you've been doing, you had a pop-up shop recently, and it was Bet on Black.
So yes, I did a pop-up shop with a bunch of different Black businesses. So I just had this idea of kind of bringing everyone together to get us more known in our city. So maybe I'm bringing people out that didn't know about Sika, and now they know about Sika, they know about Sharice, and you're bringing your people out. Now they know about us, and you see how that web kind of goes. So that was my whole thing of bringing us together. I know how hard entrepreneurship can be, and sometimes we need that extra push. We need to, come together and make money collectively. So without it being bickering or feeling like we're in competition with one another. So that was my first event. I plan on doing it annually.
Awesome.
So I was just like so excited at the turnout, the turnaround. Like I made a speech at the end and I was crying like a baby because I was like, I didn't just expect it to be, that. So I know a lot of people say, they support you or they mess with you, but that day really kind of showed me like we have more love than hate in this city, but the hate stands out. So it was definitely a great event. So
that's awesome. I believe strongly or firmly in buying black, and supporting our small business owners and entrepreneurs, because it's so easy and it's so easy and convenient to just go to one of those big box, or